What's good, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and ladies and gents, boys and girls, Duggers and Diggers of all ages, Monster Hunter Worlds. Okay, so we got some stuff. Okay, guys, we got a lot of gameplay, However, I'm strapped for time. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I totally wish I can't really explain it too much because a lot of it's personal, but I just seriously wish that I had more time to do this. But I only have like 40 minutes to myself. So within that 40 minutes, I decided, yo, I will at least do a breakdown of two weapons. My favorite two weapons, the Lance and the Gunlance, of course, because they released a lot of actual gameplay for the game. I think a total of like 7 or 8 minutes, depending on, you know, they gave us 30-second gameplay for all the weapons in the game, all of them. So that's glorious. So for everyone who's a huge fan of whatever weapon type you have, rejoice, because there's some gameplay for you. And I will say this, I got a chance to see all of them last night, but when I say last night, I mean like 3 o'clock this morning when I got home from work, and there was no way I was going to make a video at 3 in the morning when I had to be at work later on the next day as well. Anyway, regardless, there's a lot of cool stuff in all these videos, well, in all the little videos. So what I will note first and foremost is that because I'm going to be going over the Lance and the Gunlance, is not super exciting. However, there's one small treat that I will totally like to discuss about the Gunlance, but let's talk about the Lance first. Now, the first thing I want you guys to understand is that when you look at these videos, it's actually giving you a sneak peek of the gear that you're going to be possibly wearing later on in the game, because that's really cool. Because the first showcase is the weapon they're using with the gear that's associated with the weapon in terms of the renders and stuff that you see people using their video for thumbnails and things like that. But the gameplay itself is in standard generic level 1 armor and generic level 1 gear for that particular weapon type. So regardless, first I want to say this, they did an amazing job with the finer details for a lot of these weapons, like having the insignia on the shield, and actually showing us a new upgraded version of the Babel Spear, which is the first thing I want to point out here as well. And we're also using in-god armor, because these are things I just recognize because it's lancing for years and years. Regardless, the Lance for the most part has stayed exactly the same, which is good. Damn good, actually. Holy hell, that's good. There's one thing I will note though. When I first saw gameplay for the Lance like a long time ago in the Ancient Forest, and they showed that big video with like 30 weapons or whatever, with 4 people playing at the same time, I noticed that the user with the Lance was actually hopping back further than I noticed. But it seems that's an innate kind of thing. Your first hop back is going to be almost akin to that of a Evade Extender, while the rest of your hops are going to be standard. Now, I am beyond indifferent on that. I don't know, because he never sidestepped. I couldn't necessarily tell if it's the same with the sidestep, but if it's the same with the sidestep, I'm going to call it a nerf, because the least used ability on the Lance period was probably Evade Extender, because we don't want to get out of range of our pokes. Another thing I want to note is that I believe the pokes themselves actually gotten a little slower. I can't fully. I had a niggling feeling when I saw that gameplay, the split screen gameplay, but I'm not 100% sure if I can actually get my fingers on it, because he was hitting the guy in the head. So whenever you hit a monster in the head or the weak spot, your attacks are a bit slowed down to compensate for the fact that you're hitting a weak spot. Maybe that's the case, maybe it's not, I'm not sure. If not, I feel like the attacks are slightly slower. If that's the case, then yes, they full on nerfed our Lance even further. So thank you so much, Capcom. But other than that, everything else seems to be relatively the same. They gave us the sweeping attack back from, I'm gonna say 4U and 3 and whatever. So that's really cool that they actually did it for the Lance. Now moving to the Gunlance though, the Gunlance is where it really shines. I looked and looked and looked, and there's nothing different with the Gunlance. I don't really see anything visually different with the Gunlance. One thing I will note, if you guys care to know, is that the Gunlance itself right there is an iron Gunlance, and the armor he's wearing seems to be that of like an upgraded version of Chainmail or something like that, in the showcase that is. But honestly, when it comes down to the Gunlance, there's not really much that's different. I think next to nothing is different. The only thing that I will note that is different is that if you look here, it looks like my man is shooting what seems to be like a harpoon-like projectile from his Gunlance. Maybe there's range on that, because it's the one thing the Gunlance actually lacks. It is a Gunlance, but it's more of a situationally close kind of ranged weapon, meaning you have to be right on the guy. But this harpoon seems to probably have a little bit of range to it. Regardless, he shoots it and it attaches itself to the monster's head, then it explodes in a short fashion, and then he finishes off with the weapon fire. So that harpoon thing looks really sick, I'll admit. So for what it's worth, the Gunlance looks exactly the same, minus that one new attack that I can't wait to actually get my hands on to see what the real parameters are for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know this is stupid short, and I know people are like, Dak, what the hell, bro? There's so many other weapons you could have used and looked at or whatever. But hey, guys, I just went with the ones that I like the best. Excuse me, wow. With the ones that I like the best. I almost burped there. But maybe when I have a little bit more free time, I'll go over all of them for you guys, and I'll break it down for all of you. So I'm pretty sure by then, though, all these weapons be broken down by your other favorite YouTubers or whatever. But regardless, I'm gonna do it for myself because I kind of feel like it's something I really want to do, and I'm not doing it for the views or anything. I just feel like it's something I really want to do because I was gonna do it anyway. I was gonna sit down and meticulously go frame by frame with every single one of these weapons to see what's real and what's fake about them. So why not make it a video regardless? Anyway, guys, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and as always, may the desire be in your favor, and I will see y'all next time. Take care.